Remix. 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 Remix.
Oh, yeah! Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, coming to bring you some of that boom bap breakfast. Yes, us, not just me, holding the D. Straight from all around every city. You know how she be. Let me introduce you to not the second one responding, but the first one responding. She goes by the name of Renee Johnson. And believe you, it's not JC, but it's JB. You know who he be, Dr. Jerry Paul.
Morning.
Yeah. What's good?
Morning.
Morning to all our remixes out there. Yes. We are here another day.
The all-stars in the building already.
For real. Let's go. Man, it's been a long time since we seen the Saturday crew on a Tuesday. Ain't that
It's
something?
good to be here. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back, man.
Enjoying this summer staycation.
I see. All the professors and teachers are kicking it right now, boy.
Little bit.
I love it.
Although I do have a summer class. I have a summer class.
Oh, do you really?
In
person or online?
No. It's asynchronous, so it's not my favorite, but that's how summer classes are getting run, and so those of us who try to supplement that insufficient income need to sign up and do what we can. Because again, I have to just keep pointing out that they just announced at Morgan State a job opening in my former department where whoever comes in who will be far junior to me will start at a salary I'll probably never make.
Wow.
So
Disrespectful.
that salary compression is real.
You sitting back watching some Mbappe and some Messi.
No.
You're busy.
No, I'm not. So I'm repping Panama. I hope they win, but I've watched not more than 5 minutes of a live game. I've only seen some highlights. I did see Mbappe's goal yesterday, but I'm not. I've found it very difficult to get interested.
What?
And in fact, you
love this and this sport, this art. Your daughter. But as a former soccer coach, I love the art of all this stuff and just seeing it. And now it's just, I get the World Cup, but it's putting it in your face now. Like you can see it on a regular.
I hear you. I love the game. I obviously, but the politics of it have gotten to the point where I really can't. It has not been. I thought it was going to be harder to not watch than it has been. Now we'll see what happens. Honestly, we'll see. They haven't got to the knockout stages yet. We'll see. We haven't had this super big matchup yet. So it's been a little bit easier. So I don't want to front, but so far I haven't watched, man. I haven't watched.
How Panama doing? How many?
They lost in a heartbreaker at a last minute goal to Ghana.
Ooh.
And I was not there, but some family were watching next to some Ghanaians, and it got a little bit. Apparently, it got a little heated. So I might have to be outside next time, just for the sake of the discussions, because some folks started the Ghanaians. It started getting a little grimy. Cats started getting a little, people get real nationalistic.
Yeah.
And but it was all love. But they lost. So they lost to Ghana. I think they've. I don't actually know exactly where they played today against Croatia. I know that much.
Renee, how's Jamaica doing?
So Jamaica.
Oh.
Why you laugh?
Because that's a foul question. That's a foul card on the play.
She said, "Well, we got the Knicks, so how about that?"
I don't mess with the Knicks either. So everybody enjoyed. I didn't watch one of them games. Not one. Even my mother was like, I stayed up and watched the game. Like, I was like, you don't even watch. You don't even understand what's happening. She was like, it was so exciting. I didn't watch one game. I didn't celebrate. I didn't whoop. I didn't go to New York City for the parade. I don't care.
None of that. All right, so moving forward.
And I also don't know how Jamaica's doing, so you'll have to let me in on the joke because I haven't paid
don't worry.
No,
they lost. They're out already.
They're not there.
They didn't make it. They didn't make it. Oh, okay. Well,
that's why I was like, that's messed up. That was a foul question.
And he know I'm not gonna know the answer.
No, Jared did though. Hey, but moving past sports, man. How was your Father's Day?
Oh, I had a great one.
Yeah,
I had a very good one, and the best gift I got was that they got me one of those, like the toy launchers to throw the ball for Roberto. So you could. So, you could, because I got the you can scoop and throw so I don't have to bend over, with my back and all that and pick up the ball. But now I got one it's like click, clack.
Wow.
So we was out there. I ran the dog. He got tired before I did yesterday. I was a little kid out there. They were like, look at this 10-year-old father out here with his new toy.
We figured out a way to get you out the house. Good job.
No, but it was great. It was great. Went to family cookout, got that whole Black, Latino, Africa diaspora cookout with the extended family. It was dope. I had a great time. How about you?
Nice. Well, I must say I went and my kids cooked me some food,
Exactly.
cards, wine, hand wash for my bathroom, and then oh boy, me and my daughter went to go see Busta Rhymes. My son had to work, man, and I got to sit there and talk about, wise older heads be like, listen, if you're gonna be an MC, if you're gonna get on that stage, I need to see an entertainer. I need to see somebody that, and when you got Spliff Star, a hype man, so you got all the elements. You had the DJ doing it. You got Busta Rhymes. I was like, this is why we got a high level when we be like, yo, you better bring it when you get on the stage, because we seen MCs like that.
Look, his politics are to me a mess, but Busta Rhymes is still to me an underrated MC. He's an absolute legend, and his live shows, I saw him only a couple of years ago myself perform. He's still, I mean, salute to the old age and
Yeah.
I know I was about to say he doing a lot up there.
He's still.
Yeah,
I was shocked. He's still almost. I mean, it was almost unrecognizable as an old man. I was like, what is happening here? This dude was all over the stage. He had all the energy for his whole set. When I was like, this is crazy. Because I was like, I'd have been sitting down a long time ago.
Friday.
I'm gonna have to be rocking from the rocking chair.
Listen, and then Friday I went to go see Common. He had a free concert on Juneteenth. He got busy, and somebody was like, who had a better concert? I was like, I can't even tell you. Both of them rocked it. Both of them know how to MC greatly. So dope concert out there in Stockbridge.
I didn't realize Common was still doing music stuff.
What? He's never gonna stop.
First of all, I can't tell you the last time I went to a live music anything one. Not because I don't enjoy them, but just because it's just has not been on my list of things that I can manage in the moment. But I just didn't know. But I was watching a show and I looked up on the screen and Common came out. And I was like, oh. You still doing this?
And then I got to go work with I went to go see Kamal K. Franklin, CMB. They had an event, and I ran into Steven in the chat room. Did I say his name wrong? And I ran into Soul Mega. Soul Mega was in the building. Yeah. So aquaponics event they had, you know, they doing some stuff in the community.
And I saw Soul Mega outside. To me, outside is when you see people from our chats and other people's chats. And I saw Soul Mega in Mark Lamont Hill's chat the other day, giving them the business.
What?
Because Mark Lamont Hill was interviewing this backwards ass Heritage Foundation black man, and so Megan was in the chat like, nah, wrong, that's not true, that was not right, it's wrong stat, here's the real stats. Yeah, so salute to Soul Mega. It was dope. That's how I see people outside nowadays. I'm like, oh, I know you.
Listen,
you in another chat, I know you.
And then last night my cousin took me out for Father's Day, and we went to go see the Atlanta Dream. That's right, the Atlanta Dream WNBA, and it was packed to the rafters in there.
Oh, nice.
You know, we got Angela Reese,
right?
And me and my cousin went. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. Carrie Hilson performed at halftime. 2 Chainz was in there. All the boy rappers and everything was in there, so it was dope.
Man, go ahead. You were outside, man. I should have got my picks too, because I was outside too, man. And I had oh my goodness, I had single barrel Uncle Nearest old fashions made for me by my cousin-in-law's wonderful partner, and she was just yeah, that was beautiful, man. So salute to Father's Day and all the good times. That's dope.
God. That's why I'm doing a fast and a cleansing this week. I'm gonna do a 7-day cleansing, get my liver, kidney, whole body right. I gotta get right. So
yeah, gotta rebalance. By the way, so I saw a recent WNBA top players poll.
Mm-hmm.
I admit I don't watch enough. I do watch some of the discussion. And I think he meant Angel Reese, right?
Yeah, Angel
Not Angela.
You know, man. I'll get the names right one day. Yeah.
But I saw that Reese, I think, was 16. And but the controversy, of course, was where Caitlin Clark was. And apparently the reality is finally sinking in, that the great white hype is just that. And there's a number of folks getting disappointed at the fact that she is not the savior. And
she ain't the savior.
She's very average.
She's good. She hitting threes. Her passing. Her
3-point percentage though is not good though. That was what this. That's what this report was showing. Like it's not good. And then they got this the new rookie. And anyway, there's all these new players that were like,
Atlanta Dream got this African rookie. It's like 8 feet damn near, man. She is a beast. She was a beast last night. Yo, that place was jumping. I'm taking my daughter. I tricked my daughter into working out by taking her to the basketball court. So now I got her liking to shoot a little bit. But yo, it was a real good. There was dope in there. I was like, damn. But the prices.
Oh well.
I mean, I know they got their raise in the WNBA, but shit. Ain't got to take the money out of our pocket.
See, that's unfortunate because it used to be a reasonably affordable thing to go watch a WNBA game, and the food was expensive because they shared the arena, but the game itself was like a reasonable. Unfortunate.
One beer was $15. I was like, "Cuz, let's sip this. Let's share this beer."
Yeah, unfortunately, it was predictable though, because as soon as the owners have to give up some money, they just pass it on to the consumer, to the customer. So like that's they were like, "Bet you want us to pay them more? Watch what happens to that beer and that ticket price."
Yeah, definitely. Yo, how was y'all Saturdays?
Dope as ever.
It was excellent. It was a good conversation.
What was your best takeaway from it, both of you?
Best takeaway is that we need a whole new cinema apparatus and way of seeing films, because the promise, even the attempt at trying to deliver upon us some revolutionary cinema in a mainstream institutional setting is just not. So I'm really on, and I went back and revisited it, and I would encourage others to do the same. Mtume has this really good breakdown on his Patreon in a discussion of sort of the 3 or 4 things that we really need to do to create a revolutionary culture and a space for it. And I want to start encouraging more of those kinds of discussions, and this film festival that some Renee and I are trying to evolve. Yeah, because anyway, I mean, it's so we were talking about I Love Boosters again, and it was yeah. So that's just my quick takeaway. But yeah, you know.
What about you, Renee?
I always appreciate when Sam comes in and just reminds us that like nothing that we are presented about a movie is the reality about the movie. So one of the things she said, and it started in the chat, was like, what makes you think that Boots Riley actually like wrote this movie? That he was actually like that somebody, just because he said it, like we can't go off of that. And so the reminder that there are just larger things at work that people just don't really consider or contemplate with all these things. And it's somebody really came for me in the messages in the let me not put it that way. He didn't come for me, but he was attempting to correct my basic theory that like if you can't reasonably recognize that when you get $20 million from the Zionist entity to make a movie and it's being projected in one of the largest movie theater franchises in the country, and like there's no revolution or revolutionary thought coming out of that. It's going to give you enough to make you think that perhaps that's what they might be doing, but that's not actually what they were doing. And so he thought this was a flawed notion and attempted to say, basically, like, I just find it interesting that this would be a take when y'all are on YouTube, which is always the argument that people go to when you question where people, like, what's really facilitating what someone is doing. And so it's a false premise, and it's also a terrible comparison. But this is what happens a lot, right? Well, y'all are on YouTube. And I like to remind people that one, YouTube will do whatever it wants to us because because they can, right? And so he mentioned like, y'all talk about getting demonetized, right? Because it could happen because we have refused to change our content.
And remember, it did happen.
I was about to say it did
right?
happen.
It did happen. Yeah. And so, my basic response was, when Google and YouTube give Black Liberation Media $20 million and we change our content in order to comply with whatever they've requested us to do for that $20 million, then we can resume this conversation, because that's the point in which it's comparable, right? Like the little pittance that, that we get after they take their 40% cut, right, is not like the idea that this is the problem. So then fast forward, and whoever this Bad Empanadas is, who I also don't watch, but I've heard Jared reference and Carlos reference when we had Carlos on a few weeks back, Deculturation. I guess it was coming after the movie also, and I guess he has enough followers that Boots Riley took it personally, and so he has now quadrupled down on taking the $20 million and basically said, like, you can't do a good movie without taking money from Zionists, and it can't get distributed and blah 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 blah. And then he also was like, and you're on YouTube and you're on Patreon, and Patreon owners give $100 million to Israel, which is false. It's this whole conflation of these things in order to make yourself look like you're not the asshole you actually are. And so, are
we using all the devil's tools down there to be right? Try to,
everyone is.
But there are so many other errors with that too.
There is. But taking $20 million from a specific person who is actively working to kill off Palestinians, I think it's a stretch to be like, it's the same thing, right? Like, it's not the same thing. And so,
I just watched, I know me, Jared, and Jackie back in the day did House of Dragons when it first came out. We did. And it just dropped another one, new season that came out. And you talking about, did you catch it, Jared? No.
No, I tapped out all of that. I can't.
But I was wondering, can a movie be too political and lose a storyline? Because it feels like that happens with Boots movies.
But his movies are stupid. Let me not say movies because I haven't seen more than this one. So let me correct myself. This movie was stupid. It was dumb, and I didn't even like the movie. So
what was this? Was he trying to be too political and get a point across more than the storyline?
He wasn't political enough, and the story wasn't well done. So, see, to me, that is the biggest difference in the nonsense that Renee was just talking about. That one, as Renee already explained, taking $20 million from the Ellisons to do a movie is different from having a platform on YouTube or Patreon or anything like that. So the comparisons of them is itself false. But the other part of it is that Boots is claiming to be doing something more revolutionary than he is, unfortunately. So on the one level, I would say that if the comparisons are going to be made, we should start with the fact that all of us, even in our atmospheric spaces here, are reaching far more publicly taken radical positions and analysis and offering analyses than what Boots offers in any of those films, including Boosters. So it's a false comparison to say that the outcome is the same. Before you even get to the question of the institutional relationships and the funding and all of that, the political outcomes and the discussions that we're having are very different. So the film itself doesn't even take revolutionary conclusions or positions. It's a very, liberal, left Democrat political kind of film at the end of the day. So this is something that is almost more of my concern than any of these claims about what platform you're on and whose money is, like the product itself. So and then just quickly, I want to say, this is going to sound this is a bit of a contradiction because politically I'm not saying this film does this, but we just as a family watched the film Conclave again for me. And I don't know if people have seen this film Conclave. It's a recently made film about the papacy, Pope, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which oddly has a storyline that mimicked what happened in real life with the last Pope's election, the most recent Pope's election in real life. But my point of bringing it up is just to answer sort of the question you're raising, Ear Doctor. The film is not trying to do something radically political. It has its own politics and its own agenda. What I'm using it as an example is that in a film with no CGI, no on screen, at least, explosions, no action, no something driven, and this is where my bias comes out, something driven by plot, writing, acting, and I think some of the most I would have to get some experts involved on this, but some most, to me, incredible cinematography that you're going to see. Like, it's so beautifully shot. To me, this is sort of what I was trying to say. Boots and others could do something so much more radically political that is equally entertaining and riveting and whatever, if they focus on writing, plot, story, execution, and stop trying to fill in the gaps with some shock with nudity and sex and again, not even just or exposition and sci-fi gadgets. To me, that's why I'm saying, so politically, again, Conclave is not, but I even after a second viewing, I'm like, this is what I'm saying. Like, like, scale it down, focus on getting a good shot, writing a good script, getting some talented actors. Yeah,
and what I'm saying is the reason he will not do that is because in conceding and taking the $20 million, he has to make this type of film that is nonsense, that is filled with all that garbage, that he can then turn around and be like, look, I'm trying to radicalize the world. That's the point. It is to create confusion and to cause people to believe that just by going to watch a film, they're educating themselves on radical theory when they are not. Like, that's the whole point. And that's why it's so frustrating to me to have people argue about, and this is in part why, like, I'm like, don't even go see it, right? Like, just remove the nonsense from the argument and have a conversation about why these types of films are not going to lead anyone to revolutionary theory. They're not going to lead anyone to radical understanding. They're not going to lead anyone to even picking up the book on material dialectics. Like it's just not going to happen, because that's not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is to distract, to give you the lights, to give you the weird sex scenes, to do all that stuff, so that then people can have these just like Sinners. So people can have these arguments about what the movie's actually trying to do, instead of going to do the thing that the movie claims it's trying to do. That's the point, to distract.
And that's where Samantha and Renee jumped me on Saturday, because I was saying that I said we should see the movie and then discuss.
Yeah, you got to see it and then critique. You can't just not.
No, you don't.
But
you do, because you don't have no real input. You're just going off what other people said. A lot of people do that, and I'll be like, "Yo, bro, you gotta watch a little something, then we can have a conversation." Because then when I talk about a certain scene, and you can't even.
But what I'm saying to you is, you don't have to talk about any scene in that movie. We aside from really like mentioning how gross that whole like cunnilingus scene was, there was no conversation, like real conversation about what happens in the movie. It's all nonsense. It's all like literally and I watched it to just so when someone makes the argument that you just made, I can say, well, I watched it. And I'm telling you, based on the trailer, his conversations, the stuff he's saying, if someone is actually interested in understanding how this is working within these capitalist streets, you don't have to go see the movie. You know everything you need to know already.
I would say that's true. I agree on the one hand, if you're going to perform a review, I think you do have to see it. If you're going to say, this is a review of the film. But I think you could also offer up an analysis of the film without seeing it, just by doing, as Renee said, if you just watch the interviews, if you read the just even one of the ones that I went over that were an in-depth long form interview with Boots, if you just read that, it exposes. I mean, you will see that it's not going to be the film he's claiming it to be. So that's all I'm saying. But
from looking at it outside, and I didn't want to see it. from looking at it outside, it would look like it's supposed to be a funny film. It don't look political. And the funny thing is now, like one of the top songs right now is Young Man, "Where My Boosters and My Scammers At." That's is this supposed to be like political, talking about boosters and
yeah?
people
I mean,
stealing?
he's saying it. I mean, again, Boots is promoting this as a revolutionary film that's going to move the masses of people into, because he does attempt to offer up an analysis of labor and unions and Marxism and you know, I guess you could even argue race, gender. I mean, all of these things are thrown in there, but it's done in, yeah.
You
but
know,
it is,
to me, Clone Tyrone was a good political / everything
no,
else
we
movie.
fully disagree on that one too.
Y'all don't like no movies. Y'all don't like Sinners. Y'all don't like Clone Tyrone. Y'all don't like no.
You know how many movies exist?
Y'all like, huh?
I don't appreciate first cinema anymore. I just don't, and I can't. And I watch it. I have watched so many movies because I sent my husband, my child to Atlanta. My husband and child in Atlanta. Yeah, doctor. To do to kick off their yearly father-son trip. And so I've gotten to watch a lot of movies, and it is fascinating to see how cinema is just part of it's just another tool. And everything that I watch, I'm like, oof. And so it makes me think that, you know, Sam's thought process of maybe we have to just get away from this whole idea that there's anything that you can gain from these projects at all, and just try to work towards working with building upon a cinema that is not reliant upon all of these structures and these systems, because you're never going to get from it what you want to get. So, and I've seen movies that are not for cinema that I enjoy very, very much, and that actually teach you something. And so, you know, but it's
A-Rob asked, what was the politics of Clone Tyrone, Air Doctor? To me, it was the fact that media keeps putting out this type of culture that this is how we are, this is who we be, and we continue to keep following these steps to be this next gangster, to be this next preacher. And it's like always showing that these are the main people in the movies and in life that we deal with. And it's like, get out of this whole circle, get out of this whole, this is what media teaches us about culture, and we follow these things.
Remind me,
that was the politics of it for me.
Remind me, because I did watch it, and I just want to note for the record that it was Jared and Jackie's breakdown of the Tyrone movie that first made me realize how much movies suck, and then it's been downhill ever since. So whoever in the chat said that Jared definitely did it, and it was on a remix, and it was with Jackie, and they completely tore the movie apart. But I cannot remember at the end.
I can't remember all the details.
I don't remember. So Air Doctor, you just said to turn away from it. Is that really what the movie told you to do at the end?
To stop following these what media says this is what we are, this is who we supposed to be, and everybody constantly keeps playing the same role when it comes to being in life, being this gangster, being this preacher, and it's like, yo, get out of that shit. We see that these are what hurts us most in our communities. We need to stop playing these roles. So that's what I got from it. I was like, it's a clone. Every time it keep coming out, clone. We keep doing the same thing. We need to get out of that circle. So that was the politics for me for it.
It's interesting because you say that, but then you just got mad at us for not liking Sinners, which is
Sinners I look at Sinners as a vampire movie, and I like vampire movies.
Well, look, Coogler I saw got a Netflix deal, so you'll get much more from him in the coming,
So
years.
Do y'all like vampire movies or no? That's
not really.
Oh, well.
I don't mind vampire movies, but I also didn't think Sinners was a good movie, like, period. So that was outside of the politics of it. I just didn't think it was a good movie.
The dance scene, none of that.
You mean the one where it was like shifting and all the different types of
different
dance and
eras of music?
That shit was terrible.
You're bugging. You are
Convoluted.
bugging.
Totally
You
convoluted.
are bugging. The fact that they show. Oh man, I can't.
But see,
I
this
can't.
is
Let's
so this
move
is-
on to for movies.
see,
I can't
so-
with y'all.
But this is the thing, right? So this is what people say. But look, he brought in all these different things, right? But as a person who is sitting there who may not be familiar with the different types of dance, the different types of things, like having this hodgepodge of stuff with no clear understanding of where it's coming from or what it's about or anything like that doesn't help anybody. All it does is confuse and just create like, well, what is happening? What is going on? That's how I felt through the whole movie. And I walked out after 2 hours and change, and I was like, what? Like, what did I just sit through? What just happened? And I get that people liked it because they felt like, oh, look, I saw this type of thing. But that's what they want you to do. They want you to be impressed by that and not recognize that they're doing all that, and they give no clear understanding of what it has to do with anything or how it frames the historical growth and change of music and dance, or how all of those things have been shaped and destroyed by the capitalist system. None of that comes into play. So, see, you're shaking your head, but am I wrong?
No, I'm just saying you'll just mess up a wet dream. But big up to Piper Carter saying Renee is on the morning show. Big up to Piper.
What up, Pipe?
Yeah, see you in a minute. No doubt, no doubt. So let's take a break, y'all, because I know not to talk about movies with y'all. I've not heard about a good movie besides what Jared talked about, the Pope movie. I ain't heard y'all talk about any movies that was good.
Burn was good.
Burn
was good.
What was that?
That was about the revolution, and they sent the white man in to trick everybody. That was a good one. That was good.
Okay. All right, Burn. All right. Well, let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we're going to come back with some news right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. Let's get it, y'all. Oh, yeah. Welcome out, y'all. This is the Remix Morning Show. I'll go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Thank you all for hitting that like button, subscribing if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, donate where at blkliberationmedia.org. Yes, show your love, get some merch over there, and get fly. You know what I'm saying? All right, boom. Let's get to the weather. I know y'all wondering what it feel like outside. If y'all ain't stick your hand outside the door and find out yet, let me help you out. ATL, we got a high of 81 degrees. Next, let's go to DC. High of 73 degrees. I'm trying to figure out when I could go swimming. This weather keep going up and down, so I don't know. Chicago, they got a high of 66 degrees. Houston, 93. I might need to go to Houston and go swimming. Panama, they got a high today of 83 degrees. And I'm not talking about Panama City, Florida. Brazil, what is it? Brazzaville, Congo, they got a high of 85 degrees. Now that's pretty hot. What I wanted to do for this is I wanted to give a shout out to another brother that we just lost, transition. A young producer who goes by the name of Tay Key. Yes, let me tell you about him real quick. His real name is Britavious Chambers. He produced a bunch of top hits like Look Alive, Nonstop by Drake, Sicko Mode, Beyonce, all types of stuff. He was found unresponsive in his home at the age of 29. No foul play, no nothing. And yeah, just lost another one. He was a pretty dope producer for the younger people. When I did a lot of proms and different events for the younger crowd, a lot of his music got played. So mental health, all types of stuff. We got to look out for each other, y'all. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Yeah, let's go. Yes, sir. Man, losing them every day, y'all. Losing them every day. All right. So reparations. We got the king of economics on here of what you shouldn't do. It's and telling you about the myths of all this money that's going on. Reparations. Let's go ahead and hit this up.
Jared, that was a new face for Jared.
That was a crazy. That was crazy.
Yo, let's go ahead and get to the news, yo. All right, welcome back to the Remix Morning Show. I'm the doctor. That's Dr. Jared Ball. That's Renee Johnston. Welcome out, Remixes. This is the 23rd of June. Yes. Now, reparations. I don't believe in them. I don't believe it's going to happen for us, y'all. That's just what it is. But if they give me a check, I'm going to take it. But I just don't believe it's going to happen for us. I would not heal or try to fix people by giving them money, but at the same time, will it really help us? Will you fix us, or will we just help the economy grow? Renee, you want to take this one?
So, I mean, I just want to state for the record that like exactly what's happening in Evanston, is it Evanston is exactly why doing individual one-by-one reparations is going to be problematic, right? So if the money was going to alleviate this, like the major problems, right? If it was going to fix infrastructure, then everybody benefits. And this response of you can't do this for these particular people can't happen because everybody is making the benefit from it.
I mean, people in the Caribbean that's chopped sugar cane should be getting some money too. I mean, if we're going to just do reparations, right? Should just be for Americans.
I am not part of this. Well, first of all, I cannot be part of this whole FBA ADOS crew because, as I've been told by them, I am either a tether or a parasite, depending on who's talking. And so it doesn't, it's not applicable to me because, no one understands that all the money and all of the companies were all coming from the same place. And so you can't separate out and say, well, your slavery was different than our slavery, but whatevs. So I'm
conversely, it's the only way I get to definitely be counted as black in this world. So I love it. So this is, keep up the fight.
I can't.
So what's going on? Why are we even talking about reparations today?
Do you have the article?
Because Donald Trump, so I just looked at it quickly, and Donald Trump apparently, so this is the Republican plan to make the Democrats electable in the next election. That's my spin on the story. Because this trifling little pittance of $25,000 to black people in Evanston, Illinois, for home loans, which has been defined, I think, incorrectly as anything akin to quote unquote reparations, is the federal government is now attempting to hold up the payments. So all this is going to do is, I think, falsely define this kind of payout as reparations, which it should not, I think, be defined in that way. And then two, and maybe like 1A would be, and also not raise any criticism about the economy itself, home ownership, the relationship of race to home value, et cetera. And so none of that's going to be raised. And then, of course, as I said, it's all it's seemingly going to do is allow for the next Democratic Party nominee to say, I'll do reparations. And especially if reparations is defined as giving a handful of black people $25,000 for a mortgage. And again, no disrespect, but what house are we talking about if you can put 25,000 on it?
So this is 40 acres and a mule.
It's not even that. My point is it's a tenth of an acre and a broken wheelbarrow.
Pretty much.
But it's being defined as revolutionary. So when Trump does this, then when the Democrats come back next time talking about I'll give you 30,000. People are going to be again re-invited back to not only thinking this is some sort of reparative justice, but also thinking the Democratic Party is somehow where we should be. But
so I don't know anything about Evanston, but this is funny as hell. So John Kemper says y'all have to see how white Evanston is. They got 100 families eligible. That's wild.
Because the article said they've only paid out $7 million so far. So that sounds about right. Like how many people are, and $7 million. And again, can we just remind people, as Ben Norton and others have reported recently, 0.00001% of the population, or 19 families in this country, have amassed a wealth of $54 trillion. So what are we talking about?
and that's the part of it. Like I saw somebody, I was on my doom scroll the other day, and somebody was like, y'all know that if what's his face Musk gave away $1 billion to every person on Earth, he'd still have like hundreds of billions of dollars left. And like this idea that, like, first of all, anybody who is like, oh, well, he just works so hard. Like they work so hard to get where they are and to earn what they have. I can't even engage in that conversation with you because people just don't even understand how this wealth gets amassed in this way. But the idea that one person should have all of that when there are literally people sleeping on the street and eating trash off the ground is like wild to me.
What's a fair amount? What's a fair amount for reparations? A person.
You got to start. I mean, again, I think there needs to be, all jokes aside, there should be some incredible, like, bare baseline minimums, and that I think need to start with things like debt cancellation, full health care, something on that level, guaranteed either employment and or income, separating healthcare from employment. These are like start with these big things, just so because again, I think more important than a windfall of cash is starting with not having any debt, because obviously the first thing that happens, and I experienced it on a low level myself, that you get a windfall and then you just pay off debt. And then it's not that I'm complaining. But I'm just saying it's limited in how much you think your life is gonna change. So it needs to be something that would be permanent and in perpetuity and would be passed down generationally, locked in. And again, I'm sorry, and I want to reemphasize my point. That is a very bare baseline minimum, an absolute minimum starting point.
It seemed like reparations would be an investment back into the states. I mean, because we're gonna go buy a bunch of cars and this, that, and third. Like the money that we gonna get.
But states don't benefit from that. States don't benefit from that. The car company and the banks benefit from that. The state does not benefit from that.
Okay, not the states, well, the whole goddamn corporation of America. It seemed like it's an investment in self. Because you're gonna get a certain amount of people. Where else they gonna spend the money? They're gonna spend it right here, and the money gonna go right back into the system.
So oddly, that is how people like McKinsey and Company and others rebrand the argument around Black buying power lately. They promote it in their own circles as, if you hire more Black people, if you pay Black people more what they're owed, so it's, on the surface, it sounds like it has some positive message, but their point is yours, that this will benefit the economy. And by economy, they mean those who own it, which are the handful that I was just mentioning a minute ago. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying the baseline of what we think we want has to start with something grand and permanent, and should involve some sort of permanent redistribution. It should just be like like maybe a reparations thing, like what, like I don't know, something very bare minimum. 5% of the country's GDP gets redistributed back to Black communities in the form of free tuition, free healthcare, debt cancellation. And then I would argue you should start to extrapolate that to make it something that would be legitimately something potentially viable by saying, and by extension, we need to start repairing all the other communities that have suffered, maybe not as bad or in the same way as Black people, but this country has exploited a bunch of different groups continuously. And if we take 5% of GDP for Black people, maybe we take 3 for Latinos, maybe we take, 2 for or 7 for the indigenous, and we take 2 for the, I don't know. I mean, and then by the way, then you end up with something that is almost socialism. but seriously, I think we need to be, something big.
I mean, and so Brittany in the chat mentioned like it's different here, like if you look at, I think she said specifically Haiti, like it's like, and I wonder, because Brittany, you're here all the time, and I'm like, so do you not recognize that the position of Haitians currently is directly impacted by the work of the U.S. government? Like, I don't want to have these bizarre like attempts to separate, like imperialism does as imperialism does everywhere, and there is not one place that you can go on this earth where you see capitalism existing that has not been impacted by the empirical structure of the United States and the West, which are the same people, by the way, who funded slavery and who and so like we have to, this attempt to separate it makes no sense because it's all built together. It's all funded together. It's all paid for together. The money was not separated. When they sent the slave ships to Europe to be fixed, it didn't, like, we have to stop doing this, like, this weird, like, no, they're different. They're not different. They're not different. So, we have to get away from that conversation.
So what's a country or a race that got reparations that we can look back in history and be like, well, see how they got reparations?
White slave owners in DC got paid, I think, $300 per enslaved person they were forced to give up.
France got reparations from Haiti. That's
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
the abuser gets the money.
Yes.
When the abuser is the one writing the rules about what is, this is my point even about that story. The abusers are the ones who are saying, we'll absolutely $25,000 for a mortgage for a handful of Black people in one tiny part of Illinois that is apparently wildly white. That's reparations. Why aren't y'all happy? Like I had, like
in Atlanta.
and if that can be again, if the abuser can write the rules and make all the definitions, then hell yeah. I mean, wouldn't you? I would say that's absolutely. Don't you feel repaired with a handful of you getting $25,000? Maybe, because again, they only paid out $7 million. $7 million fucking dollars. That's like, what are you talking about? That's
right.
They scraped that off of Elon's shoe.
Right. And there's also conversation, I know that there were reparations to some Jewish folks over the Holocaust. There was reparations to, I'm about to tell
Japanese
you
internment.
the internment.
But this is the only, especially nowadays, this is the only time I would ever recommend reading Norman Finkelstein. The Holocaust industry, folks, this was really what I always, going back historically, wanted to interview him about, was that when you read the details of how reparations went to Jews for the Holocaust, it's not something to emulate. It's and over summarizing it from bad memory, what Finkelstein shows was that a handful of elite Jews ripped off everyone, including Finkelstein's own Holocaust surviving family members. So his warning was, again, his stance today makes this look even worse, but his warning back in the day was, imagine Black America's reparations project being handled by people like Al Sharpton. That's what you're in line for. That's what you're signing up for when you say, let's get what the Jews got for the Holocaust. So that's why I'm saying we have to be more clear, and I think it would be better if we were more politically organized to be, around how reparations are defined and what exactly we would want and what exactly the outcome should look like going forward. Otherwise, and then I think the Japanese, I mean, he details that too in his book too. They only got first of all, they lost billions of dollars worth of land in California that they never got back. So in a way, it was kind of like what's been done to the indigenous people. So the reparations they've gotten didn't come close to the value of the land that they were forced to give up. And then after you deal with the suffering and all that they had to deal with, the money wasn't. So that's why I'm saying we got to have like a bare minimum that is way more elevated. And that's why I said it should start at minimum with everybody's debt canceled. I mean, everything, every single thing.
If you give reparations, though, it's like then you got to admit that you did shit. Like you got to start admitting and explaining, oh, this is why we're not teaching history in school no more. This is why this is what we did. So this is why you're in this situation. So it's giving reparations is opening up a can of worms for these.
But and I think it's even more than that. Like, first of all, none of these people who would be required to pay reparations actually think anything was wrong with slavery. So they're not going to admit they did anything wrong because they don't think they did anything wrong. Yeah. They think they took advantage of getting free labor when it was available to them. So, which they still do. None of that has changed. Like none of that has stopped. It's just not, you just don't have massive boats bringing people here in order to do it. Instead, they just wrap everybody up and put them in jail and have them do it that way instead.
We taught y'all a new language and we gave y'all a better God. I mean, why are y'all mad? We gave you jobs.
Right. So this whole thing is really, we are looking for people, and I can't remember where I saw this, and it was I think it was in a chat somewhere. We're looking for people who are evil for free to be humans and pay for it. Like they're not doing that. Like they're ghouls for free. They don't have any interest in humanity. They don't have any interest in caring about other people. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Nope. Boy. And yes, can I just answer this real quick? KJ Sakuma. That's true. I thought the story is true that I had a bar mitzvah and I thought I was going to get this whole bunch of money and wasn't no money. And my mother had to. It was because I had gone to somebody else's bar mitzvah. He got all this money, and I said, "Word." So I said, "That's all you got to do." Sped through some classes real quick, set it up, and then when there wasn't no money, and my mother, it was basically a quick lesson in class, because my mother was like, "Which Jews you think? Which Jews you think we related to?" Like, we don't want to do communists and marry black people. Like we don't.
Oh snap!
We don't have nobody. It was funny, but I was pissed. We had a whole fight and everything. I was like, "Where the money at?" She was like,
"I can see Jared flipping over tables." Mom, the fuck.
She was like, "You got the wrong one." You got the wrong one. I was, yeah. It was funny. That was funny. Now it's funny. Then it wasn't funny. I was like, I did all that shit for this. Oh man. Anyway, that was funny.
All right, well, welcome out everybody to the Remix Morning Show. We talking about different topics and what's going on in the world. We're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come back with some more right here on no other than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Let's do a remix on the remix, y'all.
My name is Diamond, yep, you guessed it. Ran 1,000 schemes and I've never been arrested. I guess I'm lucky cause I'm young and I'm a black man. And intelligent, so everything is relevant. Vision is clear, don't have to wear contacts. Got a good lawyer, no shorts in my contract. Beats are selected with the highest scrutiny. I play Mr. Christian and just take scrutiny. Cause it's my destiny. A lot of brothers keep testing me, but you haven't heard the best from me. So remember one thing, hey yo, it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Yeah, so sit back and listen to the chit chat, sweet as a Kit Kat. Diamond, where'd you get that beef from? As he dug in the grate, needs another loop, so we added a flute. Then it came together and I grabbed the pen. Then I double checked it. For what? Loose ends. The object of a song is to keep your head moving. Hope you find a good A&R man. A lot of acts get signed, and when the album comes out, everyone says, "Oh man, take that record off. Don't waste my time." Due to that fact, I went for mine.
All right. Let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to the year of 1992 with the man called Diamond D off his album Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop. Yes, the name of that song is I Went For Mine. Mixed with a little ear Dr. beat underneath. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage this rare, donate where, blkliberationmedia.org. Go get you some merch, get fly, get you a nice shirt or something. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show.
You made that beat?
Yeah, I'm working. I've been working with 4 bars. Now I gotta take it to 8 bars so I can do some change ups and stuff like that. So I'm getting
That's
there,
what's up, man. It sounds good, man.
Thank you. A little West Coast flavor there. You know what I'm saying? You can do the Crip walk, the sea walk on that for a minute. Don't get me started. All right. Where we at, y'all?
I don't know where we at. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, all that. Renee, you quarterbacking?
Oh no, yeah, no. Listen, Evan was like, "I can't make it. Kim's on break." You called. I was like, "Let's call Jared." You know why? Because Jared be pushing buttons. That's why. Because I don't.
Oh,
Jared's always going to be my first choice because Jared's going to push buttons.
Well, see, you know the story. You know where to get the stories at. So we
But I gave the list. I was useful. I gave the list. But we can talk about this Walmart shooting.
Okay, let's go.
That story, I still have not had time to fully dig into it, and I see it on the list, and I just don't. I'm unclear.
Cloud, we'll see you tomorrow.
Wait, where is the story on the run sheet?
It is right under.
I see it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I caught wind of this yesterday, and I have not actually had time to fully dig into it. But apparently, there was an accusation of shoplifting at a Walmart, and I don't know if it was in the parking lot, shot into the car and killed the 1-year-old that was in the car, not with the woman who was being accused of shoplifting, but of the woman who was just in the car with the person who was being accused of shoplifting. So I don't know if we remember in Ohio, this was like 2 years ago. This literally happened. I think it was outside of a Walgreens, and the young woman was shot and killed in the parking lot because they accused her of shoplifting. And I'm still trying to understand I'm still trying to understand when, even if you are a shoplifter, like when the penalty for that is death.
For real. It's crazy.
So, and Chitty Matcha, who's on it, of course, says over a bag of diapers that the mom had a receipt for.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't
even know what to say to this.
I don't even know what to say about that, other than similar to what you just said, that the question should be, I mean, obviously it should be illegal to shoot somebody, even if you know for a fact that they stole it, even if they're standing right there waving a middle finger at you saying, yeah, I stole it, and start walking away. It should still be illegal to shoot them. You can try to detain them some other way. You can simply have them on camera and catch them later. You can write down the license plate. You can whatever, but there should be, at no point should anybody be able to say, because you stole X from me, because it's similar with the boy they shot in that child shot at the store. So I don't care if he stole all the water. I don't care if he stole all the water and started pouring it out in your face in the parking lot. You cannot come out there and shoot him.
Like, you can't even do grand theft not grand theft, but what is it called when it's a lot of money? You can't even steal nothing that's worth a lot of money for Walmart.
Again, if the law says here in Maryland that if somebody breaks in my house and then gets outside, I cannot shoot them once they're outside in the lawn, like outside. If I can't shoot somebody who just escaped breaking into my house because they're outside in my lawn walking away, then it shouldn't matter. Then none of this should matter. And by the way, I believe don't most of these people have some insurance on these products and stuff?
Yes.
Isn't there some sort of I'm like, and then by the way, Walmart, it's been a while since I checked, but they usually have 5 to 7 members of that family, of that Walton family, and the richest people in the world or in the country list. These nobody is suffering, and if Walmart is ever losing money or struggling, or the only people really suffering economically with Walmart are the employees who are underpaid given the amount of money, and all the other small businesses they put out of business, and all the labor they exploit in China and elsewhere. So like, what are we talking about, man?
Ain't nobody more criminal than Walmart. And Walmart, on top of that, is triple criminal because its workers are literally living off of the state because they don't get paid enough by Walmart, who also doesn't pay taxes. So, like, across the board, Walmart is full of thievery. And this is what's happening. But when I tell people the problem with law enforcement is it has nothing to do with people, right? All of that over a claim of stolen property from a company that steals from everybody. So you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand.
Big up to brother Jamil sitting in 999. All signs point to the end of empire, exploitation, excessive evil doing. We out. Where we going, man? Don't just give me a ticket.
That's the only question. That how far can you get? But yeah, man,
I'm wondering because I'm like, I want to do these stories be like this in other places because this just seemed like America. I don't know. Am I wrong here? Does this happen in Panama? Does this happen in Bahamas? I'm confused here.
Definitely not in Panama. Not like this. First of all, nobody is armed in the world like this country. So you can just start there. Even as bad as countries might have it, the levels of inequality in those countries are not as bad as you find in this country. So the disparity between the top and the bottom is worse here probably than anywhere, for the most part at least. So but no, yeah, it's not to suggest that everywhere else is perfect, but I don't think you're not going to find the levels of this kind of violence and hostility elsewhere. Not that I'm aware of, at least. I can't imagine where it would be. Just starting again with the fact that nobody has guns like this country, and laws that that support just shooting black people in particular whenever you want.
I think the thing that tugs at us is like, some of us are privileged to the fact where we can get up and get the fuck up out of here, where we feel like we leaving our others behind because they don't have the money and means to just get out. And then if we do have a great migration, how is that going? I don't know, because that's the whole story. It's like it's like, all right, give us like this many states, or we can leave, or we just stay here and deal with it. Try to fight a system that's going to system and do its thing that's going to keep us. So it's like, what do we do? Leave, stay, try to get our separate states. This is so fucking confusing. I don't know.
Whatever, the first thing I would say, of course, is that whatever is decided would require a level of organization that doesn't currently exist. And so I would, it would be great if these discussions were happening in organized, plebiscites or whatever,
Damn, word of the day. Say that again?
There was, what was the year on that? I know the chat will know if I won't remember, but there was that famous Black National Convention that took place not long before the so-called Civil War, where there was where it was put on the table, what do Black people do? And it was discussed, is there going to be armed struggle or some other form? And obviously that didn't win, but I can't remember that. I need to go back and get my into that history. But that's the kind of thing I would like to see happening, to hammer out these questions and answers. The Black Belt Thesis, no doubt, and I, recently repurchased the 1804 books collection on that subject, with Eugene Puryear's introduction and chapters in it, I think. But my thing is always, what I always get stuck with that question of what happens nationalistically if the states is the approach. Because being internally colonized, as I'm arguing we already are, with a greater degree of geographic and maybe even some level of political control, still has us internally colonized here in the United States. What does that look like, and what levels of freedom does that really mean? Similarly, mass exodus to where? And in what context and what setting? I mean, there's a lot of and then I am moved by that exploration, that study, revisit of looking back into Malcolm X last year for the 100th birthday, where he was confronted with that himself, with people in the diaspora saying to him, why don't you set up here? Why don't you come work over here? You're being threatened in the United States. Why don't you come set up shop over here? And he felt that as much as he was a Pan-Africanist and thought that the internationalist struggle and the diaspora struggle was essential, that he felt he had to come back here and struggle with his immediate tribe here in the United States. And I've, and when I've thought about this, I feel, I can get that too.
And what Piper's saying right here, there's no place to escape capitalism.
Facts.
I agree,
Piper's
but
right on.
I think that there's a place to get a little bit more clarity and a little bit more peace of mind.
I don't know if that's true.
Then here?
I don't know if that's true. Because
I don't know that there's any place that's not impacted by imperialism and by Western colonialism. Like, I just don't, I think even when you think you're escaping, what you're escaping to is being the person that is doing this to the people who already live there. Right? So like, you're moving somewhere because you're trying to escape the US, and then you go somewhere where the people are literally living the life that you're trying to escape, and you are going there as part of a system that is oppressing those people. So even like you may feel a little bit better at the moment, but in the end all you're doing is bringing US imperialism to another place.
But do you have to bring that?
You already do the minute you go there. You don't, that's not where you from. What are you doing there?
Well, we ain't from here neither, but
yeah, but you didn't come here. You were forced here. You were brought here. There is a difference.
And what politics and new arrangement do we bring when we go somewhere? So like,
I think you work with the people, right? You go and you start asking what the people, what they need. How can I help? You don't just go there with your American ways and go take over. Nah, I don't think that's the thing.
So that was so sort of that's where I was going next. That there's a huge difference between vacating somewhere and living somewhere. And a lot of times, we visit places that we think of a certain way, but once you actually move and live there and have to become part of the society and the economy and the labor force and et cetera, I think you end up running into almost the exact same problems or similar versions of those problems. But I think we have some more expertise coming to the stage to help us with this. Is that what I'm hearing? Seeing happening?
I hope our sound is right.
Okay. Boom.
Peace.
Jab, I should have changed my shirt because I've got the new Peru away jersey. That shit is fire. Stop playing.
That is
the qualify, but I still rep.
God. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said we didn't qualify, but I still rep.
No, I that is one of the other aspects of this that I forgot to mention. That I struggle with. Some of these kits are amazing, and I did. It's on its way. I ordered me.
No,
I did order me a Haiti one. I did get that new Haiti.
No, I got them in 2 colors.
So I haven't watched the game, but I'm with you. Yeah. No doubt. No,
I got you.
So what got you up here? What?
I mean, y'all are cooking. First of all, Ear Doctor, I just want to congratulate you for saying my name properly, Cloud.
And I'll congratulate you on your sounding better.
Thank you. Look at this.
Listen, because it sounded like a hot mess, and I was like, I don't know.
Listen,
but you got it together.
Yeah, Doctor, stay on them.
Yeah. No, fair. I'm just, I'm listening to y'all cook. That story about the 1-year-old is just, I don't, that's why I was in the chat. I was like, at what point do we just like boycott this shit? Like it's wild. I don't know. Yeah. Renee, you were cooking.
So Cloud,
I'm just real quick. I'm like sick of the whole thing. Right. And I already don't go to Walmart, so I don't know that I can boycott a place that I already don't go to. But part of the problem is that people still think like there are still people who are like, oh, but she was shoplifting. So like, what do like, what are they supposed like? We are constantly living underneath this guise that when these people show up in their costumes with their guns, that they're actually there to do something that's beneficial to the community, and they're just not. And so there has to be, beyond even just like, like boycott Walmart, like boycott the system, people will still engage with this law enforcement process, and the same thing will happen outside of somewhere else. So I think we also have to really engage in this conversation about how we get people to understand that when these people in their costumes with their guns show up, they're not showing up to help the community. They're showing up to defend whatever piece of property they're there to defend. And anyone who is not the owner of that property is at risk, period.
Let me ask this, Cloud. You've been around, Cloud. Where would you go? Where would you go for peace of mind besides America?
Oh, well, I mean, I was in Lima all of last year, so I was in the global south, just like fuck that, I'm out. But sadly,
why
I had
did you
to.
stay?
So ear doctor's
come
basically
back.
asking. So if 40 million Black Americans show up in Lima, what can
I'm
we
dead.
expect?
Yeah, what can we
I
expect?
mean, so it's crazy. It's really unfortunate, and I actually need to write more on this. But the Africans in Peru, especially in Lima, are very right wing. Like they're the Afro derecha, as we say, is a very real thing. It's very similar in Ecuador too. I'm sure Panama. I'm not entirely certain, but I'm sure. Um, but yeah, I don't think we. Yeah, I don't know. Racism is still a thing, and Peru particularly is still a neo-colonial state under the boot of U.S. imperialism. Now under a far right, likely they still haven't announced the winner, but likely under a far right, you insane woman.
So we
who
couldn't
is the
come to South
daughter.
America.
What's that?
We couldn't come to South America and have peace of mind and work with
No,
the
I
people.
mean, Chase said he always was envious of the USians inside the Imperial Court because we have the most important struggle.
Mm.
So we can't run away from our revolutionary duties, right?
So is that what it is? The world is looking at us?
I had to come back.
Is that what it is? The world is looking at us for leadership?
It certainly used to be that
No.
way
The world
for
is
a
not looking
time.
at the U.S. for any kind of leadership. In fact, we should be looking to the global South in particular for leadership, right? Like we should look at the 6 million Bolivians out of a country of 12 million, half the population out in the streets. That's, and why? 2 decades of mass base building. You can't take that away from the cultural revolution of the mass.
And what do you think they have less to lose or more? What is it about them that makes them different?
Not that there's like more or less to lose, but that they've just been under the boot of the U.S. empire for so long, right? Like that's one of the front lines of U.S. imperialism, right? But we can argue, and we do argue, that internal colonialism means we're also one of the fronts, right? What we do is link up those struggles. Zone of peace, boom.
So they know the boot is on their neck. We here in
100%.
America are pretty comfortable with the boot on our neck.
We don't know there's a boot in our neck.
We don't know it's a boot on our neck here,
right?
But there they know it's a boot.
We think having a little bit more within the imperial core means, oh, we're good, right? But no.
Okay. Well, I'll take a little break and let y'all break the rest down.
Where's my cumbia?
Knew it was coming.
So, I mean, Clau, I know that you're also your dual role right now of intensely following the World Cup and boycotting the World Cup it gives me joy. So can you talk?
I'm a kid of the global South. As soon as I
Yeah.
could start walking, my brother had me as a goalie at the age of like 2 in the mean streets of Barrio Salto. So like I've just known this all my life.
So you want to talk a little bit about, and I know you all will get into this more probably tomorrow, but do you want to talk a little bit about like today's game and
Yeah, no, 100%. Thank you. Yeah, England versus Ghana is one of the games today, right, at 4 p.m. Also, part of what I love about the World Cup is that you get politics with it, like colonized versus colonizer. Like, you can't write this shit. Stop playing. Anyway, also, side note, the goalies, Jab, I know you know. Vozinha from Cabo Verde, stop playing. The Iranian goalie, oh, nah, that's a Strait of Hormuz right there. That's blocking the Strait of Hormuz right there. Yeah, and it's just the beautiful game. It's literally the global South's favorite pastime. So there's a lot to we've been bringing up a lot the idea of taking back the beautiful game, right? Not just from U.S. imperialism, because it's obviously here in the U.S., or 75% of the games this time around are in the U.S., but also just taking it back from the corrupt gang that is FIFA, right? Like Sepp Blatter, formerly the president, he was in the Panama Papers, right? One of the most corrupt pieces of shit ever, right? Like Infantino, like he's lucky I only yelled at him. I should have fucking slapped him.
So the only thing I was trying to find this thing. So first of all, real quick, everybody, I misspoke slightly. I just want to correct something I said a minute ago about referencing Ben Norton. It's the 0.00001% have now the equivalent to 14% of the national income.
Oh wow.
Wealth is the equivalent to 14% of the national income. Not the it's 1% of the population of the country are worth $54 trillion. That's a separate recent report. But so I just want to clarify what I just for that. One thing that I was trying to find, that because I haven't been watching the game, so I've heard some of the discussion about some of the goalkeeping, some of the play. I've seen some of the highlights here and there. One of my favorite, and I don't know if I haven't been watching any of the coverage either, but one of the favorite stories that has come out about the World Cup is the coverage on Fox News and all the tension between Thierry Henry, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and
oh my God, Zlatan. All hail Zlatan.
Because you have, and I don't know if people appreciate this, and I'm trying to find it in this recent to get to this point, so we to save some time. But there was this very hilarious video from a channel I do watch and have been watching, FNG, where he's talking about because Lawless is, he's a MAGA Republican, former USA World Cup player who has had, relative to the US, an interesting career. But compared to Thierry Henry and Ibrahimovic, who are absolute legends of the game, he's nowhere. But he's up here, like they have all this tension on they've been paired together for this World Cup because of Fox has the coverage, and of course they want a MAGA Republican, Alexi Lawless, to be on it, and he keeps dropping all these things praising Trump, and at one point he even says he would have picked Erling Haaland over Ibrahimovic. Like right here, he's saying this to this guy.
Even over this guy, I love you, Z, but I will take Haaland over you if he has a big World Cup in terms of legendary status.
That's a big statement.
I'm not sure about that.
And then anyway, there's a point where they get into it, and Ibrahimovic, like Lawless, walks off. And Ibrahimovic apparently says, they come back and Lawless isn't there, and the host says, we're here without Lawless, and then Ibrahimovic turns to the camera and says, "You're welcome, America." Like so that to me was I thought some of the more interesting stories to be coming out of the World Cup in terms of even the politics, just how it's being covered, him being this MAGA Republican and trying to constantly insert these Trumpisms and talk to these legends of the game like he belongs in a conversation with them in the first place. So it's anyway, that's But
that that level of caucasity is to be.
And this was my point, Paul, that broke up my own soccer show. That Erling Haaland is this. He's like, for me, he's a non-starter because they part of what I know they're promoting him as is the white savior. It was my same reaction to the Caitlin Clark thing. Like I'm not denying they have skill, but part of this praise is this. It has that whiteness element to it. So anyway, yeah. When Lawless said that about and saying Haaland is better than Ibrahimovic to his face is crazy. Oh man. So yeah. Like FNG said, I hope Ibrahimovic gets to the point where he punches him in the face on TV. That would be amazing. That would be just
Zlatan. If anyone's gonna do it, it would be Zlatan.
That's what I'm saying. If it's ever gonna happen. Thierry ain't gonna do it
right there.
Yeah, Thierry too bougie and smooth. He's
too bougie, bro.
Yeah, he's not gonna do
too long. That's hilarious.
all right.
Or I guess now he's in the U.S., huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, well, actually, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Because he does Premier League coverage, so he's probably in England
Right. Yeah.
as
You're
much
right.
as he's here.
Yeah.
But for the coverage here, he's here, and he's getting all that good white Americanness. And I think even Zlatan is like, wow, this white American thing is severe. Like,
yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny for them. Yeah, it's funny to see the contradictions in their eyes, right? Because yeah, you're right. Like Sutton is like, oh shit, the caucasity is on another level. Bye, mom. She's in the background.
Bye, mom.
Ciao, mom.
Ciao, mom.
So what's it like in Crib Jab? Is Panama going crazy?
There's strong Panama support, and we have a very close in-law who played on the national team, so he's really plugged in. Yeah, he is going to a game because he's got some sort of thing with the team. He's going to get some sort of, but we've I've said, like, I'm not watching. And I did say we had it, like a year or two ago when the World Cup was known to be coming here, we did at one point consider, trying to at least take my youngest to see. But as things evolved, we were like, no, and now I wouldn't, we might have gone, maybe we even considered going to Mexico or Toronto or something to see a game. But in terms of the United States, I was like, I'm not bringing my children to where they're saying there are going to be ICE deportation centers and surveillance networks. So I was like, we're not doing any of that.
Yeah.
And at this point, I haven't even been able to get to the point. I admitted earlier, we'll see when the group stages start, if I weaken. But at this point, I haven't even wanted to watch. Like, I've really become. And I'm surprised, to be honest. I'm surprised at how hostile to the thing I've become, and how disinterested in watching I've become. Other than I do want Argentina to lose. I hate their goalkeeper. Speaking of racism.
Also, Messi,
Messi is a beast. Oh my God, that dude is, man. Listen,
he wishes he was Maradona. Instead, he's going to fucking Israel to touch that wall. Get the fuck out of here.
I was
Maradona.
That's the part I can't.
The soccer skills. Yo, did y'all see this?
First of all, soccer is a slave name. It is football.
Yeah, I got you.
Or football.
Tell him, Cloud.
That's right.
So this is a guy outside of the Georgia Dome wearing his outfit, and they kicked him out.
But you see who's out there, though. That's my point.
Yeah, we have bad folks out there that are engaging. Literally all over the host cities, we have folks in
but
Mexico,
look who's up. That's
Canada, etc., that are boycotting and trying to talk to the masses about boycotting. I was also thinking about going to Mexico, but I don't know.
But that was exactly the scene I was talking about. Yeah, it's cool that there was a protester, and I'm not surprised he got walked out. But the fact that they have that level of armed ICE, I was like, I'm not walking, myself, never mind my children, into that environment.
Yeah. Did you hear that there was also I definitely one? There may have even been two mass shootings by the. It might have been Kansas City, if it's where England is have set up shop, but it was near the English team's facilities, like wherever they're training. I think it might have been Kansas City, but that was even before the game started. And I remember when they first announced that the World Cup was going to happen in the U.S., I was like, yo, there's going to be a mass shooting, because that's just what happens in the U.S. every day.
Oh, yeah. 9 people were injured in a pre-dawn shooting on Troost Avenue in Kansas City, Missouri, roughly 5 miles from Swope Soccer Village, where the English national team is based.
Yeah. There might have even been 11th, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
There might have. Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were they saying it was related to the World Cup specifically?
They don't know if that's what, if there was any relation, or at least when I saw that news, I haven't read up on it again. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, maybe they found, more intent or like the motive, whatever, but that's always hard to say. This is interesting though, because on the tip of Messi, right? Like, and even what's his face, Cristiano Ronaldo, right? But the last World Cup was supposed to be the last one for both of them, and now they're back. It's good to make a few more millions, right? Milk it for what it's worth. But I'm so disappointed in Ronaldo because he is so good on Palestine, right? But then he goes to the White House and has like this op-ed or these like photo ops with Trump, and it's just like, yeah. I mean, we know celebrities aren't going to save us, but I don't know. I'm torn.
But but to your point, it would be nice if every once in a while, somebody might step up in the correct direction. But
no one can be Diego Maradona. They don't make them like them anymore. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, and the times don't. I think the times almost don't allow for it anymore. I saw somebody making somewhat of I'm paraphrasing their analysis of the argument, but it essentially, as I would say it, because, for instance, if you look at the way Messi was groomed from childhood, the academies, the early starts, they're even talking about it in terms of why Brazil doesn't play as well as they used to, or differently the way they used to, because all of their players are now in Europe and these academies, just like everybody else now. So that sort of independent rise, that autonomous rise that people like Maradona and others had generationally some time ago, where you could come up in your own community and in your own sort of political milieu and all this other kind, like that doesn't exist anymore. And now the people that we end up seeing, even the U.S. team, everybody on the U.S. national team is in some major European league now. So like there's no, like they're not getting, like you almost can't get anywhere. That whole thing where people try to condemn Pelé was because they said he never played in Europe. And it was like, well, he didn't need to play in Europe. He played in Brazil. Right. And then when he played y'all in Europe, he beat you anyway. So it was like, but the point was he had again, he wasn't perfect politically, but he had more of an autonomous, separate, there was like this extra institutional rise you could have. Like, and nowadays it's almost like, so when would Messi have evolved any kind of Maradona-esque politics, when he was whisked away from as a child into these Barcelona academies and given all those steroids to help him grow and all this other kind of stuff? Like, on that level, I almost feel sorry for them. It's like, I don't, and not going too far with it, but to say like, it's harder to expect that they would make the right decision at this stage. So, and Silberg, I appreciate the suggestion. And I've started reading A People's History of Football.
Ooh, nice.
And it is a really good book. And one of the points that I'm getting from it is sort of what I, was trying to talk about a little while ago, that the love of the game hasn't changed. It's where and when and how it's being played that I can't. So like in that book, they talk a lot about things that happen all around the world below the surface of the dominant leagues. And that's, so like there was one example that they raised, and of course it couldn't happen now given the increased heightened level of the genocide in Palestine. But something that I would find inspirational and would love for us to, even us to talk about more, is that at one point, a couple of World Cups ago, when Palestine was not allowed to qualify or whatever, participate in all of that, they and others developed an alternative World Cup where teams made themselves up, like they took on the names of Brazil and Italy and Germany and France, but they played their own World Cup. And like, that's the kind of thing I would love to see us do. Like to say, like, you know what, every 4 years, instead of tuning into the FIFA World Cup, we're going to organize a People's World Cup. and we're
That is
going to
a thing.
consciously, say we're going to, because like I'm sure where you live in Panama, even down the street from where I live now, there's Latinos, continental Africans, even Black Americans, white folks, even out here playing in these, it's not the most beautiful of the beautiful game, but it's, it's like, they're out there getting it. And why not throw some jerseys on, get some training sessions, you know what I'm saying? Get some YouTube video, like we could have a whole, like that's the kind of energy that I. And then very lastly, as was pointed out recently, in terms of Palestine and the World Cup, one of the reasons I can't is that they reported recently over 500 Palestinian football players and those associated with the football have been killed.
500? I thought it was 200. Oh no, I'm thinking about
no. The last report I saw was well over 500.
Yeah, you're right.
In terms of players, coaches, staff, and then the fields are obviously so it's I can't help but think about that.
100%. Yeah.
By the way, that's the only reason I wish Israel had qualified.
Yeah. Well, so I've been, y'all know about obviously the campaign, the Boycott the World Cup. Initially, it was like the first phase of it was to move the games. And Jared, I think when you had your football show and I came on, that's when I talked about it when we were still in the first phase, right? And that's when I yelled at Infantino. Because there was still time to potentially move the games to Mexico and Canada or just Mexico, right? Because obviously we know Canada is also a junior partner and all this shit. But now we're in the next phase. And to be fair, we knew there was never going to be a chance that they were going to move the games. But we use this campaign as a way to heighten the contradictions, right? And as a way to get our members out, talking to the masses, talking to fans at the fan zones, being like, this is maybe an uncomfortable conversation, but let's talk about it. Like, yo, you see what's happening in Palestine? Like, to everything you were saying, Jab, like, and let's not forget, FIFA not just is obviously complicit in all of this because they're allowing the games to happen here, but FIFA itself is going to be a part of that quote unquote Gaza peace plan and building out 50 football stadiums in Gaza on the wreckage of the Palestinian people. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, now you're a fucking partner in genocide, my nigga.
And now they want to do I thought I saw, so they want to do some sort of Palestine Israel
the
tournament
under
thing
15
here.
Cup, because Infantino wants his he wants his Bill Clinton moment when we did with Yasser Arafat and who the fuck was the prime minister of Israel at the time that he shook hands with the I'm forgetting. This was in 92, 93, sometime in the 90s when Bill Clinton was still, pre-Lewinsky.
Don't get me to guess. I would have to start guessing at this point. I don't know this.
I know. We old.
Israeli prime minister in 19.
The Oslo Accords. Yes, thank you.
Was Dre. That? Yeah, Yitzhak Rabin.
Yeah. So, Infantino's trying to have his that moment, his Bill Clinton moment. I don't, sorry, I'm not going to stop using the N-word. That's hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I'm not on the show. Fair enough. But, but yeah, no, it's wild. And Renee, we live in Jersey, and I don't know if you've been to the fan zone yet. I'm gonna go later today for the England versus Ghana show.
No, I've not. Game. I've never been. I've been out there, so I know where you're talking about. But
yeah,
not
it's out
for
in the
anything.
Ironbound.
Yeah, I've not been out there for anything to do.
Yeah.
I know where it is, but I've never been there for anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna go today for that game with 4 or 5 other, not just BAT members, but Solidarity Network members and other partner organizations that are working on this, on the World Cup boycott at the local level and raising Palestine action, right? British imperialism vis-a-vis Israel, the Balfour Declaration. Balfour Declaration. And so we're gonna be out there. I'm gonna try to, do some interviews, just interviewing some of the, fans there. It'll likely be up for Bar and Sovereign Media. And I'm actually I should be starting this week, a World Cup segment on Bar YouTube Fridays, like a 15-minute clip. I'm trying to get Jemima on to talk about Haiti and Brazil, and the use of Brazil and football, really, during the 2004 occupation to sort of ram that through. I'm interviewing a couple other football heads and political analysts that, we're going to talk a little bit about everything. Jab, if you want to be on, hit me up.
So the one thing, there was a press conference that I caught sight of with the FIFA dude, and somebody asked him if he was concerned at all
with who?
about,
with Infantino.
With Infantino. And the question was, are you concerned at all that all the things that people mentioned were going to be a problem if the World Cup happened in the US have become a problem, right? So you have players who are getting held up and unable to travel with their team. You have officials who are cleared who are unable to come into the US. You have entire teams having to sleep in another country before they can play their game. Like all of this chaos that is happening that literally was predicted, right? And so, and then the answer was, well, we're going to have the women's world. It was the bizarrest response that he could have possibly come up with. And as I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, this is always what they do, right? So the question is posed about some real issues that are occurring right now because they allowed this, after giving the man the fake peace prize, they allowed this entire game to come to the US, being very clear that this was going to be the result. They did it anyway. And then when they're questioned about what is actually occurring, there's a non-answer. So they never have to answer. Clow stepping to him on the street might be the only time that the man's been confronted at all with his complicity in all of this chaos, right? And so it all runs into the same problems with media, with movies, with all of these things, where there are very few people who are actually confronting the people who are at the core of these problems, people who are actually confronting the people who are participating in these problems willingly, for all that we discussed with the Boots Riley movie. He was on Breakfast Club, which I also don't watch, so I only know what I know because of our group chat. And they apparently clipped out the whole conversation in order to make it, to take out all the stuff that might have even led to a reasonable conversation about radicalism and all the things, right? So sometimes I'm stressed about how we as organizers and as people who are interested in really heightening these contradictions and having these conversations about how these things all work, right? How do you actually get people to engage in this in a reasonable way? And so, Cloud, this is what you're doing, right? You going to be in a space where people are going to watch the game, but investing the time and energy into actually talking to people about why all of these things are problematic has to be part of the strategy, right? Like, so is there a like? I want to know. I want to know two things. I want to know for the person who is totally on board with the Imperial Core and has no interest in having any real conversation about what all of these things are like, what all of these things are doing, right? Like, how do you deal with that person? And two, is there a like, okay, every person that I step to, I'm starting with this question, with this line, or are you gonna first try to identify where that person is and then like, and then kind of curate your conversation based on those initial responses?
Yeah, I think the latter, right? Rafiki always says, right, like, oh, you consider yourself an organizer. Have you had the same conversation 500 different times and like perfected the way you have that conversation? So that always sticks in my head. But yeah, I mean, I have a conversation with them, see where they're at. But I think even to what we were talking about before, right? Like, at what point do we take this shit, right? Like, they dead ass killed a 1-year-old. Boycott this damn thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what happens with the person who's like, nah, I don't want to hear none of this?
I mean, you're always going to have that. I think it's just a matter of like still trying to engage them. And then obviously if it's just like, all right, like, I don't try to spend all of my time and energy trying to convince one person when I could have been talking to like 50 other people, So, after a certain point, obviously I would cut my losses probably, but I think there's a way to bring people into this, right? Like, we're going to be in Newark, right? At the Ironbound. At the beginning of the year, they killed an African, Wally Bay. How is this a safe country to have the World Cup? For Africans in particular, but like for anyone, right? ICE is going to be outside. The final is going to be in MetLife Stadium, which is 15 minutes away from a literal concentration camp. At what point do we say, fuck this, right? Boycott this shit. Boycott not just the World Cup, not just FIFA, but boycott the US, right? And I think using Orasami's right tip of the spear, I always think about that book. It's just so fucking good. And I think part of why the Palestinian comrades and the Anti-Fascist Football Coalition are so on board is not just the boycott the World Cup part, but the boycott the US part. Because obviously we understand the contradiction is Zionism, right? When we think about Palestine. But without the US, Israel will not be able to do what it does, right? In multiple ways, right? Money, militarily, etc., etc. I mean, even cover at the UN, right? So yes, Zionism is a contradiction, but the primary contradiction remains US-led imperialism, right? So I think that a BDS USA campaign does that, right? I think that's why the Palestinian comrades, the folks that we work with, the students in CUNY for Palestine, PYM, National Students for Justice for Palestine, like, I think they're excited about that part because it sharpens the tip of the spear, our tip of the spear, right? Yeah. But I don't know, Jab, what are your thoughts around post-World Cup? What does a boycott the U.S. look like?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. The reason I made the joke about wishing Israel had actually qualified is that I did look forward to what I thought might be the heightened tensions and contradictions and people being forced into feeling like they were going to protest, and people protest them all the time. And I thought people might do, sneak in the Palestinian flags. It might cause, some broadcast tension and hostility that might be fun to watch. But I really don't know. Honestly, I'll be honest with just I'm in a moment of real struggle with I've maybe not been as I'm maybe at I've maybe never been less clear about what I think I should say publicly about what I think should happen. As I've become more clear about what I think should take place, that I don't feel comfortable saying publicly, and would be irresponsible to do so. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. You know, there was a documentary that I took part in where initially a couple years ago when they filmed it, I know the idea was that it would come out now because it was about Black people and well, what they call soccer and football in this country and race and the part of the plan was to screen it around the country and encourage certain forms of politicized action using the World Cup taking place here. But I haven't really seen that materialize. So I really don't know. Honestly, I'm not, other than what I've said, you know, I'm not watching. I don't think we should be participating. We should be, to the extent we do it as you're doing it, show up and, forgive me for saying it this way, create problems, tensions, you know, expose some things. But I don't know. So yeah, let me just stop rambling because I see ear doctors up. We're almost at the end of time, but
we too
I don't know
indoctrinated.
exactly what to do.
We too indoctrinated. I said we are too indoctrinated into loving these sports. The empire makes so much.
Itself is not the issue, though. It's who runs it, who controls it, right?
Can I finish my statement?
Sorry.
It makes the empire so much money, which I was getting to. It makes the empire so much money. We love it so much coming up. It represents our states, our colonized little states, our areas. We got a kinship, a bond around certain teams. It's so much part of this culture that it's going to be hard for a lot of people to boycott when it comes to that, especially when it brings in so much revenue for the empire. With that said, I hope y'all enjoyed your show today.
Yeah, it's been great, man.
I can't. But wait, hold on. Look. So Evan couldn't make it, but in classic end of church form, he sent us.
Oh, that's so funny.
Us the links for the stuff that he would have said if he.
That's so funny. Evan, ever the good student.
Ever the good student. So listen, in all fairness, because I think we should be sharing these things, and I think it's important. So for folks who are interested, PACA DC is doing a community resistance build. This is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. This is live and in person at the Black Workers and Wellness Center. So I will drop the link in the chat for folks if they are interested in participating so that you can go ahead and sign up and join the people and be a part of the process. So I'll make sure to drop that link. Thank you, Evan, for always being on top of the things, even though you couldn't be here. Mm-hmm. But I just want to stay for the record that I did the thing that he asked.
You did.
Yeah. Right. Steven's like, Evan might not make it, but Paca gonna get plugged.
So to continue going around, what you got coming up on I Mix What I Like, Dr. Bull?
I'm not entirely sure. I will say that Saturday I'll be at Red Emma's with Laura Shiha and Orasami Burton. So folks can I think we'll be able to. The plan is to live stream it, but people can if they're not able to be there in person. And then of course I'll be back with earlier that day with Saturdays with Renee. And but yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's happening the rest of this week. So but be around 7 p.m. Latif, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. All right, what's Saturdays with Renee looking like?
That's a good question. What are we doing on Saturday? I suddenly am like blanking. I don't even know. I literally don't know what we're doing on Saturday. Let me look real quick though, because I'm afraid I forget.
It is BAP's national meeting, just FYI, for the BAP members who are all on the call here.
Oh, and you know what? I'm messed up. Dre's coming. Dre, my bad, Dre. See, this.
Oh, Dre is on Saturday.
Dre's coming on Saturday.
Uh-oh.
And we also are supposed to get a drop in from the folks who are doing the work with the political prisoners, because they're gonna try and kick off their show soon. So they wanna come on and talk about that a little bit. But Dre's coming on because I still owe him the other crappy movie that y'all made me watch.
Why is Yipper Dre who? That's messed up.
You can't be listening to Yipper. Additionally, Laura Shiha is gonna be in New Jersey on Thursday. She's going to do a live talk with me. We are going to live stream that here. So Thursday,
that's great.
Started about 6:30 p.m. But we'll be there at the Hub in Orange, New Jersey. Doors are open at 6 p.m. It is a free opportunity for y'all to come and meet Laura and hear talk about the book. And the Watchung booksellers will be there with copies to sell for folks. So,
all right. And I believe you will see.
Please send my regards. I wish I could be there to meet her.
I believe you'll see me and Cloud tomorrow on the Remix Morning Show. So make sure y'all tune back in for that at 8 a.m. And
there's going to be a huge cumbia party.
Miss Boggs, stop trying to get people to turn against me. You better than that. All right. We'll be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. for some more of the Remix Show. Make sure y'all go out there and organize so we can rise and represent. That is Renee Johnston. That's Dr. Jared Ball. That's Cloud O'Brien Moscow. Did I get that right? Anyway,
you're so close.
I'm the ear doctor. I'll try. All right. We out of here, y'all. Have a good one. Peace out.
Black Liberation Media is a collective of Black and African organizers, journalists, academics, and media personalities serving Black and African masses seeking to further grow in their understanding of themselves, their histories, and the African world through entertainment and news. Please continue to like, subscribe, and donate to the channel so we can further serve you and liberate our people. You can also go to blkliberationmedia.org, get some merchandise, and also become a Patreon member and a member from the YouTube. Please do what you can, share, and show your love as we will show ours for you. Black Liberation Media.